Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Starting with the name of Allah, who is the most beneficent and merciful. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are fine and good at your health. This is your online lecture of history from the collaboration of Dar-e-Akam Schools online systems. This is your history lecture for C2, that is chapter number 2, revision for your weekly test, that is causes and consequences of the decline of the Mughal Empire. During this lecture, we will discuss mainly about the enter the British in the subcontinent and the EIC, that is the East India Company, influence in the subcontinent. Before starting or going further, we have to discuss or recap about how the Indians get influenced by the interference of the Britishers. The history of the India as well as of the world has been divided into three periods, that is ancient, medieval and modern. The death of Aurangzeb is believed to have marked the beginning of the modern period. This history has seemed to conclude with the achievement of the independence in 1947. In the modern and inadequate and acceptable terms to describe this period of history is, even if we were referred to different historical periods in which changes occurred and distinguishing characteristics emerged, we cannot fix precise date for any specific period. Each period was born out the previous one, but gradually each one developed its own distinctive characteristics. We are discussing about the Mughal Empire or the Mughal period. The idea of the modern has come from the West. It is associated with the development of science, reasons, liberty, equality and democracy. If we use the term modern for the period of the British rule in India, we accept that these principles were introduced in India by the Britishers. Alternative way, then, it's to the characteristics this period is a colonial, the establishment and spread of British rule and accompanying the transformation in the political, economic, social and cultural world, all parts of the colonial rule. The period of the great Mughals, which began in 1526 with Babur accessions to the throne, ended with the death of Aurangzeb in 1707. Aurangzeb's death marked the end of an era in the Indian history. When the Aurangzeb died, the empire of the Mughal was largest in India. Yet, within about 50 years of his death, the Mughal empire disintegrated. Aurangzeb's death was followed by a war of succession among his three sons. It ended in the victory of eldest brother Prince Muazzam. The 65-year-old prince ascended the throne under the name of Bahadur Shah Zafar. This is the starting decline of the Mughal Empire, and after this the princes start successions war, and these wars are the causes of the decline of the Mughal Empire. The Mughals did not follow any law of succession like the law of primogeniture. Consequently, each time a ruler died, a war of succession between the brothers of the throne started. This weakened the Mughal Empire, especially after Aurangzeb. The nobles, by siding with one contender or the other, increased their own power. After this, the Aurangzeb's policy, the weak successors of Aurangzeb's. After the death of Aurangzeb, the successors of Aurangzeb were weak and became victims of the intrigues and caprices of fiction. ridden nobles. They were ineffective general and incapable of suppressing revolts. The absence of a strong ruler, an efficient bureaucracy, and a capable army had made the Mughal Empire weak. Empty treasures, invasions, the size of the empire, and challenges from regional powers. Later, the rulers Bahadur Shah Zafar, Jahandar Shah, Muhammad Shah, Ahmad Shah, Alamgir II, Shah Alam II, Akbar, and Bahadur Shah Zafar was also the reason for the decline of the Mughal Empire. The wars for the successions or the wars for the Mughal Empire. Now, moving forward to the enter of the British. Even before the Mughal Empire went into decline, Europeans were casting invasions' eyes on the Indians' wealth. There is sometimes a little confusion about what we mean by the term British. The best definition of British is from Britain, which means England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. Although the King or Queen of England rules all these lands, each of them has its own language. However, the language spoken by the most people and the official language is English. Europeans were casting invasion on the Indians' wealth. The Portuguese established a base in Goa in 1510, but it was the British who were the most determined to establish trading bases in India. In 1600, the English Queen Elizabeth I granted permission to the group of merchants to set up the Cass East India Company, that is EIC. The British government did not send out its own expeditions or carry out its own trading. Instead, it gave permissions to groups of individuals to do this. The government did, however, make sure that these groups operated in a way which was acceptable to the government. The Europeans were casting eyes on the wealth of the India establishment of the EIC, that is East India Company, in 1600. EIC monopoly spice trades by Dutch. They entered in 1608 but not allowed to trade until 1664. After they started trading, British end up ruling all of India. EIC influence grows. The British influence in the India grows slowly. At first, the EIC had just a few bases in the Indian coast, but by 1664 they had established their headquarters in Bombay. In 1690, the trading post was established in Calcutta. The EIC purchased spices, silks, and cotton from all India, and trade was so profitable that the company soon had its own huge private army to protect the trading posts. By the early 18th century, the EIC had three main bases, that is Bombay, Calcutta, and Madras. The company began to refer these as presidencies, and they were later to become the major provinces of the British India. At first, the arrival of the British merchants brought benefits not only to the British but also to the Mughal Empire. Indian merchants were able to sell their goods and became wealthy from the large amounts of silver being sent out from Britain to pay for them. At this time, the British imported Indian goods but did not export much to India. However, the British began to develop plans for the growth which would lead to direct competition with the emperor. Continuing this, by the end of the 17th century, the EIC, East India Company, was talking about English dominion for all time to come. The EIC even had to audacity to go to war with Aurangzeb in 1686. He defeated the company's forces and pardoned them only after they had apologized for the ill crimes they may have done. The company was also forced to pay a heavy fine, but EIC was more successful in fighting against the other European nations who wanted the opportunity to share in the high profitable Indian trades. After winning the Battle of Plassey, Robert Clive was made governor of Bengal, but his opponent in Britain carried out an investigation into his behavior in India. Although he was found guilty in the charge of plundering India, the disgrace, coupled with his addiction to opium, caused him to take his own life in 1737. Robert was in the history has viewed that Clive as a courageous and resourceful military commander. He was the ultimate became in the imperial statesman and the governor of Bengal. There are some other reasons that showed us that how Mughal Empire's fall declining. There are the military cost, declining military expertise, arrival to the British, weak control, succession disputes, administrative weaknesses. These are the reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire and the strength to the Britishers or EIC, East India Company, in the subcontinent. After this, you have to complete an assignment from this chapter. You have to solve all AID questions mentioned in your chapter number 2 from the book of your history. You have to solve all these questions and submit this assignment or all given assignments during these online lectures with your weekly test submission. In the case of any question and query, you can ask. So stay blessed. Fi Amanillah.